Hi, it's Nikki here from Moonchild Tarot with my top 5 favourite decks. Now, when I was thinking about this video, and I was inspired by another top 5 favourite tags, and it was the way that they put it. If you lost your whole tarot collection, what are the first 5 decks that you would purchase? And so that got me kind of thinking about which are the staples in my collection. Now, I do not have hundreds of tarot decks. I have roughly about between 30 and 40 tarot and oracle decks. So I do have a little bit of a smaller collection, but I still would, if I lost my collection, these are the first ones I would read. I read with them very regularly, and I would buy as well. And I've got an honourable mention. There are 4 tarot decks and an oracle deck and an honourable mention. So technically there is 5 tarot decks and an oracle deck. Take that what you will. But I saw a little kind of loophole that I could expose to put in a deck that, again, once I'd bought them first 5 decks, that would be the kind of 6th deck that would go in. So the first tarot deck, I think if I asked anybody who knows me what would be the first deck I would buy, I don't think this is going to come as any surprise to anyone. You can guess now if you think you know what the deck is, but I've got an all-time favourite comfort deck that if I could only read with one deck, it would be this one. And this is the Tarot of the Abyss. I purchased this. This was when I rediscovered my love for tarot. And this was about the 3rd to 4th deck that I'd purchased. And I just fell in love. I immediately just wanted to start reading with it all the time. And when I'm feeling like I'm in a bit of a slump in terms of my energy, or kind of I need something that's tried and tested, this is the deck that I would go for. And I do love my monochromatic decks. I got a little bit of a goth girl at heart. I'm embracing my witchy goth side, and I just love black and white decks. You know, even this artwork, this backs is absolutely stunning. And most of the decks that are beloved parts of my collection that I actually got second hand. So I got this second hand, like near enough in new condition. It kind of goes a bit with the territory now that if I buy a second-hand deck, or I find a second-hand deck, it usually becomes a much loved member of my collection. So let's get looking at it. So apologies, I tend to have my decks upside down for some weird reason, so I shuffle them upside down. Now, this moon, this is an absolutely gorgeous moon card that I just love. You know, it's you don't need colour. I always feel like the colour sometimes kind of washes out the message for me. So when I'm thinking about getting into my intuition, focusing on what is in the card, sometimes the colour can be too overstimulating. It might be because I'm a little, I'm a neurospicy girl. I just find that monochromatic decks, I love this 6 of Swords. This has got to be my favourite 6 of Swords ever. It just gives you a different perspective at Justice card on the tarot. And I love that they've done things like they've got the Awakening card rather than the Judgment card. I love that they've got 2 10 of Swords in there, and I tend to use the one with the owl in. I love that it's got I'm not sure. I think it's got 2 3 of Swords as well. I'll have to try and remember that. But this 8 of Cups, this is such a powerful image that you can just get all little details from. This, again, my favourite 5 of Swords. you know, the butterfly's there, but he's soon going to be, the smile's going to be wiped from his face very soon. I just love that it goes really, really deep into kind of the interpretation, this Four of Swords, like, put the battle swords down, it's time to rest. Like, I just love how, here's our Ten of Swords. I love how the interpretation of the Ten of Swords is, it's completed, you've been over that pain, you've been over that suffering, that betrayal, it's now time to pick yourself up and use the wisdom that's kind of and this Fool, like, this is so breathtaking. You can just feel the energy within the card. Yeah, I love this Three of Swords card. And yeah, the Awakening there. I love that they've turned Judgment into the Awakening, and the thing with the wings and everything like that. It just gives such depth and such meaning. This Hanged One, again, is my favourite Hanged One card, with the birds and the tower. I love a good tower card. I don't like it in a reading or I'm a bit resistant when it comes up in the reading, but I do love the imagery of the tower card, like the lightning there and the house not built on the foundations and the person still hanging on. It's just so beautiful, beautiful. And I love how the court cards are all like linked together. They kind of put pieces of the puzzle. So this would be the boat, and you can see the page at a different part of the boat, the knight, the queen, the king, all at different sections, and they build together. Like, that Ace of Cups is so beautiful. You can feel like energy within the cards, you can feel the movement, and it is really, really good. And I'd say it's a good deck for beginners as well, because it has got that Rider-Waite-Smith energy and kind of leanings towards it, but it's kind of not, it goes in its own direction as well, but it's just got so much that you can get from it. It's such a beautiful deck. That Three of Pentacles again, it's just teamwork, you know, it's just, she's really captured the essence of the cards in the, like, that Five of Cups. That's beautiful. And yeah, it's such a much loved part of my collection. So that was the Tarot of the Abyss. Now, the second deck that I would immediately go out and purchase would be it's relatively new one, the Joker Tarot. And I love this as getting into the shadow, kind of, apart from a lot of the sword cards, a lot of the Rider-Waite-Smith imagery can be quite nicey love and light, and I feel like you've got to kind of have a deck that kind of subverts it and has a little bit of an edge to it, because with light there is darkness. So I love this Joker Tarot. The cards are such good quality, and they, like, again, upside down, they like swish together, the sound of it shuffling. This is my favourite sun card in the whole world. Like, you can paint your own sunshine, you can paint your own, you know, abundance. It's just so beautiful, and getting into that kind of inner child work. So it's a deck that's got a darker edge, but it's not too dark. It's got a little sinister vibe, but it's easily kind of accessible if you're just going into kind of, if you just like the idea of having a shadow deck, but it's not too kind of spooky or scary, like that Fool. This is my favourite Four of Pentacles. Like, if that doesn't give you Scrooge vibes, you know, it's just, I love how cheeky it is in the way that it's sinister, like that Emperor, the face there. It's got a sinister edge to it, but it's not too dark. Like, I am thinking about getting the Murder of the Crows Tarot, and I've always been put off because I was always feeling like, is it going to be too dark? With this, and the guidebook isn't a very good guidebook in terms of telling you the meanings, because it gives you a quote instead of kind of the divination read meanings. But I think if you had like a tarot Bible or something like that to go with it, it would work really well. Like that devil card is such a good devil card. I love a devil card. And the Hanged Man, like, you know, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful, but it's got an edge. And I like decks. My like goth girly heart likes decks with a little bit of an edge and a little bit of kind of subverting that you know, that I always, you know, like a bit of dark comedy. You know, that Tower card, it kind of gives you a real, like, this is in the real world feeling. You know, that could be a building in anywhere in the world. It's kind of, yeah, it's just a stunning deck. And it's such an ASMR deck because when you shuffle it, it like makes this sound and it's just so satisfying. Like that Nine of Swords, if that doesn't tell you about being kept up at night with your worries and your fears, you know, it's just got some really, really beautiful, stunning artwork. And Lo Scarabeo are, you know, that world card again, you're in charge, you're the puppeteer. Like, I just love all the different levels that it's got. And I think I was saying, like, Lo Scarabeo have really stepped up. This is such a good quality deck. Like Lo Scarabeo, if all Lo Scarabeo decks from now on are this quality, I would be purchasing. Like the matte cardstock, it's so good. And the, you know, the magician there giving you kind of old school Batman vibes. I love it. I love it. So this is the Joker Tarot. Then the third deck is a pip deck. So I started out 19 years ago when I picked up my first deck of tarot. I started out with a pip deck. I didn't know it was a pip deck because I didn't know what a pip deck was at the time. But I couldn't make head nor tail of it. And it kind of slightly put me off. I bought another tarot deck after that. And that was a bit better and it was much easier. And it was a Rider-Waite-Smith clone. And it was the Mystic Dreamer Tarot. And I've still got it somewhere, but I don't kind of tend to use it. But I was always looking at the guidebook. And I was kind of like, when I went back into reading tarot again and discovering the love of decks over a year ago, I was always put off by pip decks because I was like, well, where's the picture? What can you read from? Where's the story? But now I'm finding myself more and more kind of moving towards pip decks as my intuition is expanding, as my knowledge of numerology is expanding, the suits, as my knowledge is expanding, I'm not as scared of pip decks. My first pip deck was Labyrinth Tarot, which will be in another video. But as I'm kind of moving more in my abilities, I'm kind of moving toward the kind of pip deck kind of thing. And this is I think one of the best pip decks to kind of get yourself in because it's got so many clues to it. This is the Ink and Intuition Tarot. So, and that stunning moon card there. But if you see, you've got your Nine of Swords, but you've got clues within the picture that you can link in. You know, the Knight of Swords, the pictures there, the tattoos there give you a flavour, and it's to do with air. It gives you a flavour, and this is my favourite, one of my favourite tarot cards of all time. I love a tarot card, but it's just, and the crown going and everything, it's got such love and detail. And it's not as scary as kind of first thought. I love the Pentacles suit. It's just because I love green. Green is one of my favourite colours. Yeah, it's just a beautiful deck. And I find this is really good. If you need a direct answer, this is a good deck to go. It is very, I wouldn't say blunt. It's not blunt where it, with, you know, it's not blunt all across the board, but it tells you the message very, very succinctly. And it's not kind of, it's not a mystery. So it's not, it doesn't give out like mysterious readings. It gives you what you need to know and moves on. So yeah, the energy, whereas something like the light, see, I'm getting my tarots mixed up there. The Tarot of the Abyss, you can get more kind of, they can be a bit more mysterious or thought-provoking. This tells you what you need to do and moves on. Yeah. So yeah, look, you've got 5 of Wands, you've got the, you know, the hearts there and everything. It's just so many clues within it. This World card is beautiful. Yeah, so I really enjoy reading with this deck. I do find it's a bit harder to shuffle because it's a bit cardboardy quality. It is a bit thicker, so I find, because I've got small hands, I find the Tarot of the Abyss easier to shuffle because it's a bit thinner, but I probably would have to replace this quicker than replacing the Ink and Intuition Tarot. Yeah, so this was the Ink and Intuition Tarot. It's just an absolutely beautiful, beautiful deck. Now we're going to move on to my 4th pick in tarot. And again, if a lot of people who know me and have seen me on my lives, they know that this is kind of a much loved deck. This is my Deviant Moon Tarot. And I love using this for like hidden depth reading, shadow readings, because again, it has got that edge to it. And I love the imagery that's within it. It does give you the light and the dark. It's kind of, you know, we lovingly called this Deviant Dave. I name quite a lot of my tarot decks. The much loved tarot decks tend to get given names for it. So the Tarot of the Abyss is called Abby. The Ink and Intuition is called Iggy. The Joker's called Heath. And I tend to give names to my tarot decks that when they come kind of around my tarot and oracle, I'm a bit bizarre, but they're part of my family. So this is the Deviant Moon Tarot, and I resisted getting this for a while. And when I bought it, I was like, it's so easy to read with, it's so good to read with, and it gives you such a fresh perspective. Again, love that 7 of Wands, like everything's around and you not quite know what to do and you've got to stand your ground and push through. This is my favorite 7 of Swords card. Like, if that doesn't give you imposter syndrome all over, it's absolutely kind of stunning. I love that card. And the Devil, this again, I love a Devil card. You know, gotta love him. And I just love this. It's just so good, and you can get so much out of just one card. Like that 5 of Wands is, if that's not about battling, yeah, you can kind of see it. And the 10 of Swords, like you've put yourself in a position that you're really hard, it's really hard to get out of. And I just love that imagery. I just think it's, and again, like it's not all dark. You've got some beautiful imagery like this with the 6 of Swords, and it's kind of moving away from all the chaos. Again, 4 of Cups. I love this image of the 4 of Cups. And Strength. Such a good deck to use, and it really scratches that kind of, I love abstract surrealist art. So it does scratch that kind of creepy surrealist kind of vibe to it. And that 6 of Pentacles, like if that doesn't, you know, have a hidden edge, it just is such a beautiful deck to kind of work with. And I like how it's a little bit skinnier. It's easy, kind of easy with the shuffle, and this Death card is just, and I was a bit when I was going through it, I was like, what card's this? And I was like, I can't see any pentacles or swords or what, or cups or wands. And then I had to kind of look, and it's like the death card is because of superstition, it's not got that written on it, and I love that little touch to it. But yeah, I've not had this pop up in a reading. So yeah, the death card, it's so you can't escape it. It's such a beauty. This is such a stunning deck, and it's just got some cheekiness to it as well. Like, it's not all doom and gloom. It's got some cheekiness. It's got balance. I do like that it's got this kind of balance of light and dark. Again, this is one of my favorite Hermit cards. Love it, love it. So yeah, this is the Debian Moon Tarot. Now, moving on to my final pick. It's a oracle deck. We've got an honorable mention coming in as well, and this is the Moonology Manifestations deck. If I lost all my collection, I would buy those 4 tarot decks and this oracle deck. This is the oracle deck I go back to time and time again. I use it within readings all the time. It's just kind of has that connection. I have that connection with it. It's got a vibe with it. I can really just dive into the artwork within it, and it's got, you know, everything you need to know within the image, and then just the simple message. I just love how, and I was very wary of kind of photo enhanced decks and things at first, but after kind of getting these, I just thought, oh, it's amazing. All the Moonology decks are really good, but this is the one that this is the much loved one. This is, you know, if that's not saying relax, like, it just gives you everything you need to know. This is the one that I go back to time and time again. I just really click and resonate with it. And it's got all the astrological signs. It's got the, you know, full moon in Aries and the message. You know, I love working with this intuitively and doing this for like 1 card pulls. You know, what do I need to know for the day? I'll pull a card and then just carry on. It's such a nice kind of oracle deck, but it does give you kind of those intuitive hits as well within the artwork, the way that the artwork is. So yeah, this is the Moonology Manifestations Oracle deck. Now, my honourable mention is a tarot deck, and I didn't put this in my top 5 because I don't use this in my live readings. I do TikTok live readings, and I don't use this within TikTok live readings, and I don't use this with with other people. This is purely my deck for me, and this is my Thoth deck. He's called Alistair, and when I first interviewed the deck, I got a very strong message saying this deck is only for you, so only use this deck for readings for myself. So I have this as my own personal deck. This is the deck that I will, if I've got something coming up or I've got something on my mind and I need to pick some cards, I will use this deck most of the time, because and he's quite this deck's energy kind of can be either, I found that it's either very, very positive or very kind of wary and warning. There's kind of no middle ground with it. There's no real mystery with this deck, and I don't know whether I'm not kind of reading into it too much or stuff, but I feel like it's a very, very clear-cut deck. It will tell you what you need to know, and he won't sugarcoat it if you need to know it, but also it'll be kind of quite positive where it needs to be. And I'm not lucky enough to kind of have a greenie. I just got the kind of medium sized deck because I got small hands to shuffle. Like that sun card, so beautiful. And I am learning the Thoth. It's a slow process. It's a slow process of me learning. I did try listening to the Book of Thoth before I was kind of going to bed in the evenings, but I kind of struggled a little bit with what it was. So I do need to kind of get some other books to kind of have a way into the Thoth. But I tend to kind of just use my book as I'm going along and then work intuitively with the deck. But I do want to learn more about the Thoth because there is such a deep history and a deep kind of lots of symbols, lots of astrological elements. There's lots of kind of esoteric secrets within this deck that I do really, really want to learn. It's kind of now I'm wanting to deepen my practice. I know a lot about the Rider-Waite-Smith. I've learned a lot about that. I've learned a lot about the system and the structure, but now I kind of want to go into the deeper aspects of kind of what was going on in the Golden Dawn. I mean, that star card is so beautiful. What was going on in the Golden Dawn, and you know, where are all these secrets and mysteries to the world? And I love how it's linked to the Tree of Life and things like that, and like the geometry and symmetry within the cards is just such a good one. But I didn't want to kind of put this in because, again, it wouldn't be one of the first 5 decks I would automatically buy. I think it would be very shortly after that. But again, this is a deck that's just for me, reading myself. And I feel like I'm going to have a long journey with this deck in terms of learning it and getting to know it. So those were my top 5 decks. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know what your top 5 or what your top decks are in the comments. What decks would you purchase if your collection was completely wiped out? Let me know in the comments. I love to find out about new tarot decks and everything, especially as I say, I'm a creepy girl. I love anything that's got a kind of hidden depth, hidden creepiness, kind of that, you know, that skirting between light and dark, that edge to it. So let me know in the comments if you've got any recommendations that I could look up. I am going to be doing my most beautiful decks tag as well. So I've saved a few of those decks for that video. But again, I would go out, I would purchase these 5 decks as my first 5 decks to restart my collection. Thank you so much for joining me on this video, and yeah, I hope to get to know you all, and I will see you in the next one. Ta-ta for now.